All right, y'all. There's just something on my mind real quick before it gets dark here. I don't know what I'm going to name the video, but I hear this word pop up so much with so many people, and I just want to explain, this is just a disclaimer before I start this video. I don't care what you believe. If you even say that word, that's your personal preference. You can say you believe in anything you want to believe. You can say that word all you want. But I know for me, I don't try to use the word believe at all, because I want to explain why I don't use the word believe. Belief does nothing for anybody. Belief is, there's no action in belief whatsoever. You know, if you see a starving kid sitting there, are you going to feed the kid, or are you going to say, oh, well, I believe that God will heal that kid and I'll pray for that kid to be healed? Bullshit. It ain't going to happen. And like we all say that I believe in something. I believe that I can do this, and I have my own beliefs. How can I say this for everyone to understand? Beliefs are not action at all. They don't do nothing. You know, I have a saying that I just wrote up in my notebook. I don't believe in God, but I think that there might be one, but I don't believe in God. Because do I know there's a God for sure? No. How can I ever know if there's a God for sure? And I really think this word believe is getting us in a lot of trouble. It's causing confusion. I see the word belief as equal to indoctrination. That's how I see it. Ask yourself this. When you say, I believe, what is that doing anything good for you? Or what is it doing for you at all when you say, I believe? And this is just another disclaimer. This is me. I'm telling you my personal preference and my personal things that I have experienced in my life, and I'm telling you, belief has never got me anywhere. And if there is some supreme being, if there's some supreme being named God that, you know, made all this and created all this and keeps all this going, or allows it to keep going, what is your belief doing for God? Why would God need you to believe? Belief is all a fear tactic. That's all it is. That's all that it is. It's a fear tactic. What do they say? If you don't believe in God, if you don't believe that, you know, and listen, I'm not saying this might help some of you personally. If you believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, I still say in my mind, I still say thank you, Jesus, in my mind, because I'm so used to that, you know, that I'm so used to that because I've been living that almost my whole life. And that's something that will never go away in my brain. I can't get rid of it. It's just something instilled in me, but it doesn't mean that I have to be indoctrinated by it. But what do they say in these religions if you don't believe in God? Why are so many people believing? Why? Think about it. Why are you believing? Because if you don't believe, then you're going to hell to suffer for an eternity. How stupid and ignorant and dumb is this conception? That if I don't believe in God, He's going to roast me for all eternity because I don't believe in Him. That's not, there's no God like that. That's all a myth. That's all a fairy tale to keep you and I scared, to keep you and I stuck. That's all that was designed for. It was designed for peasants back in the day that needed to keep things going, and they used that fear tactic to keep everybody going. Well, if you don't believe and you don't do what God says and you don't do these things, then you're going to go to a place of torment and hell if you don't believe. And this is where all this believing came from. Now, I know there's movies like Rocky where he goes, I believe I could do anything. And he's punching meat and he's like, running up the hill. Listen, if you want to say that word in order for you to go run up a hill or do whatever it is that you do, you can do that. You can do that thing. But I know for me, I'm not using the word believe anymore. I'm done with the word. I'm done with belief. You are not your beliefs. Look into this stuff if you don't know what I mean by these things. Look into them, Are you looking into stuff for yourself? That's all it really comes down to when I do these videos. You could get mad at me all you want. You can, say, well, fuck you. Who are you to tell me what I'm doing with my life? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying a lot of these things are keeping you stuck and you don't even realize it. They're keeping you paralyzed. And I'm not making this video long. I only came out here because it's on my mind. I woke up today, and the reason that I came out here and did this is because the first thing that came to my mind, because see, this is how indoctrinated and how brainwashed I really was. Right when I woke up, this thought comes to my head once in a while because I did this for so long in my life. I said to myself, what do I have to do today? And see, that all comes from a fear of I have to do something for God. I have to believe in God and do something for God and do something for my life, or I'm going to be judged if I don't do something. You see, and it even talks about this. What's funny, it even talks about this in the book that people say that they believe in and they read, which they don't, which they probably don't. But it says your works are like filthy rags to the Lord. It says it right in the Bible. It says your works are like filthy rags to the Lord, to God. If there is this God of the Bible, which, like I said, I use that as a preference for people that are still believing in this stuff. The Bible has taught me some things, but the Bible has also made me stray away from so many things. And see, this is what a lot of you, I don't think, can understand about me and my channel and who I really am and what has really happened in my life. And I know this is happening in your life because I know that one of you have been raised in a lot of you have been raised in a, quote, religious, believe in God, Christian, Catholic, whatever it was, home. And listen, that can be used at a certain time in your life. But if you're stuck on religion, then you're stuck. If you're stuck on religion and you're stuck on this belief thing, you're just stuck. Because you're believing all the time for something. It's never going to happen. The only thing that's going to happen is action. That's the only thing that will ever get anything done is action. You can pray all you want for that sick child over there to be healed. Oh, Lord God, please heal this child. He's so sick. and he needs your help, Lord, please. You can beg God for 1,000,000 years, and that kid is never going to get the help until you go over and help him. Is he thirsty? Then give him water. Does he need medication? Then give him medication. And I'm sorry, listen. At this point in my life, I care, but I don't care. Listen, if you don't like what I'm saying, it's simple. Unsubscribe from my channel. It's plain and simple. But you know what? I know a lot of you won't, because you know what I'm speaking is right. Because I know deep down in my brain that what I'm saying is true. I know, because I'm in reality now, y'all. I'm not in some delusion like I was before. And I understand if people get offended and people get angry and upset, that is the natural thing to do, because we have been conditioned. You and I have been conditioned from day one to keep falling for this belief and this judgment stuff and this labeling stuff. This is why I keep bringing it up to you. I'm not doing this to break like like some kind of cult, to break you down in order to put you in a trance and all this bullshit that, people say. It doesn't have anything to do with that. And the people that say that, they're the ones that are indoctrinated and brainwashed. You see, that's why I'm not going to listen to anybody that says some shit to me like, oh, well, you're not praying hard enough, or you're not doing something right and all that. That's all junk. That all comes down to standards, expectations, judgments, that the harder you believe, the more that you believe, the more you're going to earn brownie points with this God. Do you honestly think that God, if God did all this and there's a God, do you honestly think for a second that you praying or you doing anything as a mere human being is doing anything for God, if God is real? Really think about this, because this has helped me in my life, and that's why I'm telling you, because it helps me every day to remind myself of these things. I'm not just out here telling you this because I want to get on someone's shit. Like I said before, all I'm doing, I'm reflecting this back on myself when I do this, because I have to remind myself of this, lest I forget. Lest you forget if you don't remind yourself. And what could I end this with? Really think about why you believe. And I know a lot of you hate when people do that. Believe, you do the quotation marks. But why are so many of you believing in what you say you believe in? Really, really think about it. It all comes down to a pride thing. It all comes down to, oh, I believe in my country because I'm Italian. I'm Italian tough. I believe that my daughter is the best daughter in the world, and you can hit that home run. What does believing have anything to do with anything? If you want your daughter to hit a home run, then train her to get stronger so that she can hit a home run, or your son. There is no belief required for these things. There's no belief required, y'all. And if you use the word faith, okay, you use the word faith. I really don't care, but it's basically, when people say faith, it means action. But I'm not talking about the religious faith. I'm talking about action, action, action. Just doing something about something. Like it's not hard. We make it hard because of this belief and because of these indoctrinations and this brainwashing and conditioning that we have been going through our whole lives. And I tell you this because I went through this. I still have things pop up in my head that are still there, and that's all they're designed to do, is to keep me down, to keep me stuck, to keep me fucked up. That's all they're designed to do. And I'm not going to have it in my head no more. I'm not going to have it in my brain, plain and simple. It's all it comes down to. You know, getting offended is one of the worst things you can probably do, because people that get offended, what you're doing is you're closing off. You're closing off your mind to people like me that are really speaking reality to you. And whether you say, oh, well, how do I know that your reality is reality and what I believe isn't reality? It's like we always go to the excuses. We always go to something to cover up what is really going on. It's just like this, basically. That's basically what it's like. It's like people just don't want to hear about reality. And why? It really, I'll be honest with you, reality is beautiful. Reality is actually beautiful. It's just, I think a lot of this bullshit in our head, it all has to do with the conditioning and the brainwashing and the indoctrination and all that stuff. Think about this stuff. Really think. Are you really using this? And I'm not saying this to be a dickhead or to make you mad. I'm not saying it for that. But when I say, are you using this? I'm saying, hey, Nate, are you using this today? Are you using your brain? Because I know a lot of people in my family, they're very stubborn. Very stubborn. And they don't want to listen to anything. And I know a lot of people out in this world are stubborn. They just will not listen to things that can actually help them in their lives. It's an oxymoron. It's freaking stupid. It's ridiculous. Like, people that are actually putting themselves out there so that you can take a look at, you could take a brutal, honest look at yourself to get yourself better. You'll absolutely shut that person down and cut them off. I don't know what else to say, but it's just a bunch of ignorance on all of our parts. That's all it really comes down to. It just comes down to a lack of knowledge and ignorance, really. And do I expect you to do anything that I said? No. Do I care if you do anything I said? No, not really. But if people were around me, yes, I would care, because it has something to do with my life too. If I'm around people, which I'm not, so I don't have to worry about it. I can come out here and do a video and I don't have to worry about getting ridiculed or, getting someone, wanting to do something to me because of something that I said about reality. I don't know. All that I am going for is to get you to think individually for yourself, basically. And if you don't want to do that, then you're not going to do it. Because I know you're not going to force yourself to do anything. But I'll tell you what, I had to force myself to do a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do to get to where I'm at right now in my life. I'll just leave you with this note. Always remind yourself, if you want to, remind yourself that belief, it only equals indoctrination and judgment and all that stuff. That's all it equals. And I know a lot of you are not going to understand that. But belief is not action. And it doesn't do nothing for anyone. It doesn't do nothing for you or anyone. You might be thinking that it is, but you're probably in complete denial. Because I know that I was. And I went on too long. I always say that I'm not going to be long. And I know a lot of people, they don't even get to the end of my videos. Because I once in a blue moon, I go on the analytics and this doesn't matter. But people are only watching like a third of my videos. You know, so that's how I know that a lot of people, and like I said, if you don't like what I'm saying, easily press the unsubscribe button. That's all you have to do. I'm not keeping you here. I'm not David Koresh. I'm not some cult leader. I'm not anybody like that. I tell you reality. That's what I'm speaking. If you don't want reality or like reality, then this isn't the place for you. If you want to go to someone that's going to bullshit you and tell you other crap, go right ahead. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your life. Live it. Later.